Hi, I'm Dara, and this is A Right Way. So let's actually take the plunge and write a script together. You have your log line, you have your outline, you know your premise, you have an idea of where you're going, and now it's time to actually dive in and get into it. For me personally, as a writer, this is my favorite part of the process. I love going from outline to script. That is the absolute most fun. So follow along with me. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so let's start the process of writing the script. And I don't have a title for it just yet, so I've just named this final draft Seniors. We'll come up with a more creative title as we go. Meanwhile, I have the outline open, I have my final draft open, and I'm ready to dive in. So we're going to begin with the transition, fade in. Always start your scripts with that. Exterior, senior citizens home, day, a brick building in on a city block. We're going to capitalize this because we have extras. We don't hear what they're saying, but seniors chat and laugh amongst themselves. Very basic intro to kind of show you what kind of place we are in. Now let's go inside of the building. Interior, senior citizens home. Main hall. This is where they serve the food and have a lot of the social gatherings. Day. So bright room with plenty of decorations on the walls, and seniors sit at various tables in a grown-up version of high school cafeteria so style, social dynamics. So maybe you have a table with the cool kids, the jocks, the geeks, etc., but of a senior of variety. So that could be like a funny thing to play with. So uh, there are cool kids or popular seniors, let's name it that, jocks, geeks, um, drama nerds, etc. So you can use your imagination there, but this is the senior citizen variety. So that could be a lot of fun to play with hair and makeup and styling and how you show these seniors together. At the popular table, because I want our first character that we introduce to be one of the popular kids, one of the cool kids, if you will, Jessica. And I want to make Jessica, we're going to age her down to 75. Plays cards with her friends. She is a gorgeous woman with manicured nails and a larger than life personality. So we've already kind of set the dynamics there. Now we have a scene where, or the next thing that we need to show, we've already kind of covered. Let's see where we are on the outline to cross-reference. We're right here. So we need to have Frida enter. Frida, let's make Frida 78 enters and makes her way to the drama nerd table. She is a she is a former hippie. We're painting a picture of how Frida is with colorful jewelry that she's made herself. Okay, this is a very rough draft here. We're going to save what we have. Jessica and Frida stare each other or glare at each other from across the room. Notice we haven't had any dialogue, just only the visuals. Clearly, the women have it in for a. Let's just change this. Jessica glares at Frida from across the room. Clearly, the women have it in for each other. All right. Now let's move. We don't really know the characters' names yet because that has not been established. But let's just go ahead and skip to the next scene. So sometimes if I'm making progress on my outline, I'll bold these out so I know that I'm on this next part. So we're on for Calvin, who's going to be the love interest for both women. Interior, senior citizens home. Calvin's room, day. Calvin is, what do we say? Let's make him 80. Is dapper as he puts on his fancy tie and checks out his own reflection. His phone dings with a text message. Where are you? Let's make it a little more grounded. Where are you, sweetheart? So that it's implied that it's a love interest. Let's build on the scene a little bit more. So a text message from Jessica. Where are you, sweetheart? Okay. As he types a reply, another text comes through. This is from Frida. Now, she's the artistic hippie type, so we have to come up with a different type of language, but maybe she's a little flirtatious in a different kind of way. Like I'm thinking of the famous Egyptian queen who, we'll Google that for a second. So I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm just drawing a blank here. Cleopatra. How could I forget that? Okay, so let's change, as opposed to where are you, sweetheart, we'll have her say something. Cleopatra misses her. Which one does she stay with? Did she stay with, we don't want to look up the TV series, but we can use it as a reference. Just Queen Cleopatra. And this is showing me this, but I want to look up the actual information on her. Who did she stay married to? Because if I'm not mistaken, there we go. It was Mark Anthony. So sometimes when we need to, it's a lot easier to do research as opposed to the old school days of having to go to the library. So Cleopatra misses her Mark Anthony. That's the line. So I'm going to close out of here. I got what I needed from Google. Okay. And sometimes when I'm writing text messages, I'll put these in italics too. There we go. Cleopatra misses her Mark Anthony. So he is a little overwhelmed as he attempts to message both of them back. And in this instance, we don't have to go, it would be another comedic beat if he sent the wrong message to each one, but we'll just leave it like this. But we don't know what he's going to say. So we'll just like end with a question of him just typing and trying to figure it out. All right. So now we've done that part of the outline, and we're moving back into the main hall. So we'll go interior, senior citizens home, main hall, day, and aides serve pudding to seniors. And remember, now the intensity between Frida and Jessica is heating up. So maybe Jessica gives Frida the side eye. Okay. So we're kind of established that we're still back in this moment, but let's give a little more information. So Jessica gives Frida the side eye. How about this? Jessica and Frida look up from their phones and give each other the side eye, because that implies that those are the two that were texting Calvin. So that connects that piece of the story back together. Calvin enters, and the women, okay, Calvin enters, and the women, let's be more specific, Jessica and Frida watch to see which table, to see if he will join the popular table or the drama nerd table. He continues past both of them. And remember, we have a situation where he continues to walk past both of them, and he's basically choosing neither of the women. But who is he choosing? To sit at a table with, we're going to introduce a new character that's not even in the outline. And I'm giving this some thought, like what could be a fun and, exciting introduction, which would be a new character, Sandy. And we're going to make Sandy 103. So he decided that, he's in the market for an older woman himself. Maybe he's moved on from Jessica and Frida, and now he's joining Sandy. Okay. Sandy and Sandy and Calvin hold hands and gaze into each other's eyes. Frida and Jessica are disappointed. Let's bridge those together. And now the conclusion of it will be that Jessica makes her way over to Frida's table, because now we're showing that the women are kind of bonding in this moment. So maybe this is the first dialogue that I've had, but Jessica could say something like, I guess we're too young for him. The women share a laugh. And that's the end. All right, so we had a lot of fun diving into that scene and the little bit of the twist at the end about who Calvin chose and who caught his eye took both women by surprise. But this is an example of how you can use your outline and continue to build on the story and find new and funny or more dramatic moments, or however you want to play with it. But having the outline is essential, and just diving into the process to write the script is so much easier when you do have it. I hope that this was helpful, and I also hope that you keep on writing. Thanks for watching.